The last time was August the first time you went down?
No, it was the third time.
The third time.
Yeah.
Okay. What changes have you seen since you've been going along? You know, the different times.
I mean, the cars aren't on their roofs anymore.
Uh-huh.
You know, they're not strewn about throughout the city. They've cleaned that up. The stores, some of them are, you know, open. There's traffic now.
Uh-huh.
The first time we went down, there wasn't a lot of traffic because there wasn't a lot of people. It's, you know, it's a slow process.
Uh-huh.
You know, we don't go down there for the big picture. We just see Mrs. Taylor, and we're going to get her in. Mrs. Hill, we're going to get her in her house. And the rest of it around, I mean, it's overwhelming if you know, if you look at the whole thing.
So you only can measure progress by house.
That's
then.
it, one at a time. You know, there's enough people and there's enough talent throughout the country that if everybody just does one or two, you could put the place back together again. But there's no, you don't see the joint effort. I mean, you see Catholic Charities there, you see Habitat for Humanity. I'm sure there's others.
A lot of churches.
But not on a large scale.
And do you see? I mean, do you see a strong government presence there with FEMA and everything, or you don't?
I don't. I mean, I don't. You know, I'm sure they're there with funding, and you see the trailers, but I have no idea if it's what kind of effort. It's not like a WPA effort during the Depression. You know, putting people to work, and there's jobs that have to be done there, and there's a ready workforce throughout the country. But I don't see this.
Okay. Veronica. Okay. Thank you. Veronica, when you went down, what did you do while you were down there? How did you help in the effort? What were you?
Oh, we helped put in floors. We helped build showers. We painted, did the drywall, finished drywall. Just whatever's needed. Whatever's needed, we do. And there has been a lot of good people down there working and helping. Like the last time, all the drywall, hanging in drywall. Not anyone knew the skill, but everybody chipped in and it got done. It was great.
Okay. What's a typical day like? What was a typical day like for you? Like, when did you start there? When did the day start? Or it was every day different?
You mean the time of morning?
Yeah, the time of morning. When did you start? When did the work crew start?
Everybody starts different. We work early, so we try to be there at 7. And we leave 5. You know, however, John tries to get Mr. Bill and I out of there a little earlier, you know, because
you're part of the kitchen crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitchen crew, construction crew, cleanup crew, you know, everybody chips in and does it. Nobody walks around with an attitude saying, that's not my job. Everything's your job there.
And how many people would work on each house, approximately?
When we were working on the house for the last time, we had 15 or 20 volunteers from Iowa, 6 to 10 from Youngstown. So we had a lot of people working. It was like a extreme makeover, except on a remodel job. And, we drywalled 2 houses in about 4 days, and that's pretty good for nobody having the we don't have the actual equipment that a drywalling crew would have. We were just on the fly.
And the homeowners themselves, are they on site when you're working, or do they stop by, or?
Lydia, one of the owners on Pauline, she has a FEMA trailer out front. 2 actually, one for her son, and one for her. They have dialysis, right?
Yeah. The son is on dialysis.
Diabetics.
He lives in a trailer next to her, and her daughter lives with her.
So they do live on site. The other house, they live across Mississippi on another part of New Orleans. So she visits once in a while. And we were there right at the first of the month. So the lady asked if she could make us dinner, and we knew she was blowing out her budget. Because there was 25 of us there at the time, and she made some great food. I mean, we felt a little guilty eating the food because we know this is going to hit her at the end of the month. But she insisted, and she's a proud person, and she absolutely wouldn't take any money for the food. So, we do what we can do.
Okay.
That's all.
Right. Thank you. What made you want to go?
Well, it was announced at St. Patrick's Church that Father Ed was putting a group together, and I just went to the informational meeting and then kind of just hooked up with this group. Yeah. They had gone down earlier in August, and October just worked for me. So.
And based on what you heard, what do you expect some of the challenges to be?
Another beautiful day.
Well,
Are we ready?
Probably actually meeting the people and getting to know them and feeling
They didn't talk to you the
what
last
they're
night.
going through. You know, it's a big issue, but it's going to get personal now. And, you know, I guess the challenge is trying to contain the feeling of wanting to help everybody. You know, it's like having it be so personal now.
Joe, I've already seen
So as we talked to Veronica and John, they said that you can only do a little bit at a time, but a little bit. Everyone doing a little bit really helps. Do you have any special skills?
No, I'm unskilled labor. I'll do whatever they tell me to do.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
I mean, other than HGTV stuff.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So you're going down to New Orleans. Is it the first time you've been down? You're going down there?
Yes, sir.
And tell me the story about what led to you coming here, to go.
For the most part, I didn't feel like I was doing enough as far as sending money because I could only do so much. I wasn't sure if my $5 was even going to get a door for somebody down there. So I just really wanted to be part of something so I could say I did. And also, I feel like it's going to give me a greater appreciation for the things that I have already and for the things that I don't have.
Okay. And how did you find, what led to you thinking about doing it and actually acting on it? How did you know this? How did you meet this group, or who brought you into this? Who let you know about this?
I was
trip?
actually accepted into a program in downtown Youngstown called Youth Build.
Okay.
And the director of the program is Valencia Morrow. She talked to the class about it and asked if anybody want to volunteer for it, and my hand flew up. So.
Okay, well, that's good. And what skills do you bring to the effort? Do you have carpentry skills or anything like that, or are you just as a volunteer?
Yeah, I'm just a volunteer. I actually just started the program, so whatever we're going to be doing, I'm going to be learning also when I get down there.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Valerie, say good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. And this is your first time down there or second?
No, this is my third time down there.
Third time going down there.
Third time
okay.
going down there with Hope for Nola Missionary Ministry, and but I've been to New Orleans many times before. This will probably be about my 8th or 9th time in the city.
Okay. And what changes have you seen in the city? After the hurricane and after the aid effort is going on, what things have you noticed?
Progress is so slow in the city. Very little changes. I think when I was there as a first responder right after the floodwaters receded, and 6 months later there was literally no change. I was back maybe 9 months later, still no change. A year later, still no change. 18 months later, I began to see some of the debris removed, but that's about it. Still very much devastated. A lot of abandoned neighborhoods, not houses, neighborhoods and communities where there's just FEMA trailers here and there where people can't come back because they either don't have a FEMA trailer or their house is just uninhabitable. So that's why we go down here to try to help people who are returned to the city restore their homes.
Thank you.
For the gas in the tank.
Yeah.
Well, think we ready to roll?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to head south.
And then
Okay.
you'll get
Are you
him.
one of the drivers show?
He's the guy head honcho on the driving part,
Okay.
and you'll get him and father.
At the tone,